Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Here at Channel Indie, we are highlighting the filmmakers of Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival. Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival 51, 50 plus one. It is America's longest running genre film festival. So you know that if you're a filmmaker in this, you must be good. And here are some amazing filmmakers. Now, you didn't come here to hear me talk. You came here to hear them talk. So let's go right to it. Meredith and Ethan, I'm loving your backgrounds there with all the nice robots and good pictures and everything. Let's start with you. Tell us about your movie.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us on. And thank you so much to Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival for hosting our film Tether. I'm the writer and director, Meredith Berg, and this is the producer, Ethan Erwin. And we had a lot of fun with this film. It's a sci-fi thriller. It's set in a space station. You could tell the nerdiness all around us. But yes, true to form. It is set in a space station with a woman who has her first day on that job taking care of this remote, isolated, only takes one person and her coworker, who's the AI of the computer, to run it. Think of it like a lighthouse in space, and it's clunky. And on her first day, she gets this weird radio signal, and she realizes this is an SOS, and she's the only one out here to do something about it. So she starts pushing the station, trying to figure out what she can do. Everything's going wrong. She's losing power. She loses the engine, and she loses gravity. So there is a zero gravity whole action sequence in this short film where she has to get the station back under control or explode.
Oh, is that all? Um, wow. Um, you're grabbing a horror film trope, which I
Mm.
absolutely adore. It's that the babysitter is alone in the house, or ring, the call is coming from inside the house. It's the opening of Scream, but wow, it's in space, so
Oh,
no.
I love that. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone said that.
Yeah, the call is coming from inside the universe. It's really, yeah, no, it's a, but it's a lot of fun, and it dabbles in horror. Obviously it's in a sci-fi space,
Hmm.
and I'm really proud of kind of the team that we assembled. Obviously, Meredith's a wonderful, really wonderful filmmaker, and she wrote it as well. The cast, we have Jeffrey Maya, who's the star of All American Homecoming. Ming Na Wen lends her voice to the film. She was the voice of Mulan, and she was, she's Mandalorian, and a ton of other awesome things. Sam Levine, who is a friend of ours from Inglorious Bastards, lends his voice. And it's really, even just technically, the people involved, just throughout our years of making films,
Hmm.
we're able to just bring together as a favor just some really cool people. Like I had worked on a film called The Nice Guys, and so we were able to get the costume designer Chelsea Stivell came and just there's only one character in the movie, but we're like, hey, could you just make the one costume?
She's an Emmy-winning costume designer. We're like, we just have one character and she's in one outfit, but you want to come play? And
Yeah,
luckily for us, she said yes.
yeah, it was great. And Mina Singh is this really tremendous cinematographer that Meredith had met through
We met through AFI, and she does such a beautiful job on the film. And then through Ethan produced the Sherlock Holmes movies, and through that we met the stunt coordinator and whose name is Diz Sharp, and he worked with us on it, and he's incredible. He worked on zero gravity sequences in Gravity,
Yeah, and like he worked on Dune and he worked on Interstellar, so it was really
and also
again,
NATO.
and also the one in
It's
space. And so
it's
yeah, so it was cool to put these people together and be like, hey, but we're just doing a short. We actually shot it over just the course of 2 days, but it
Mm-hmm.
really we had to like build an entire spaceship set and and do it all. And
Just wire work, and
yeah,
it was great.
but
I'm
yeah,
really thrilled to hear when, for lack of a better term, famous or established film stars are in independent and short films. It shows that they really care about the art.
Yeah,
They're not there just to get their walk of fame. They're there for the art, and I think that's absolutely wonderful.
yeah.
Now there's a term we use these days, which is multi hyphenate, and it's a compliment. But
Mm.
my day, that meant jack of all trades, master of none. So I'm thrilled that it's finally achieved its status as something wonderful. I'm hearing this from you because we have a thriller, we have a sci-fi piece. It's edging on horror, and Meredith, by your decor today, it's obviously you're a horror film fan. Um,
Yes.
what do you think of the notion of it being so combined? We're seeing a lot of that. is this a really good thing, or is this a phase, for lack of a better term? Are we
That's a
seeing
really
that
interesting
horror,
question.
sci-fi, etc., is it all becoming one great big fantastical thing?
That's such an interesting question. I think I always loved hyphenate things like Aliens is my favorite film, which I would say is action horror, and I also love the creature feature. It's got all that wrapped up in it, and also it has a lot to say about capitalism and corporate greed within that. And I think that's just kind of very rich. Maybe like you were saying, it's very layered. I think that's kind of interesting. I also love when things evolve, when they develop, when there's a left turn, when you think you're going one way and then the floor drops out from underneath you. So I think there's something to that too, where when she gets that SOS signal in Tether, when she's hearing it, it's almost haunting. It's almost more like ghost-like. And there's something about it that just kind of creeps the thriller elements in. Like you start out thinking, okay, you're in sci-fi, and then something creepy like boom, now this has been revealed. Now we're going down this corridor of the movie. And then it turns into something more dangerous until it's life threatening, and you're kind of being led. I believe a filmmaker, you've been trusted with the time of the audience. They've given you their time. That is very precious, even more than than buying a ticket. Like their time is precious, and you are taking them by the hand on a journey. And I think something about like having those curves into the multi hyphenate genres, that's the roller coaster. That's you taking them on the ride. I think it's fun.
That's terrific. That's terrific. I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Give me the jump scare in space.
Yes.
Give me the haunted house that's haunted by an alien. Give me all of it.
Yeah,
To
and all wrapped in
really.
some real emotion, and all wrapped in hopefully yes, some thematic goodness as well if you want to look at it.
Exactly, and that's how we feel like things are very relatable. Like at the end of the day, Tether is about how this universe is trying to kill you all the time, and the only way that we can survive it is with each other and by helping each other. And that has to be like a strong theme, a strong like through line like that people can really feel impact of, like feel where hits where they live. I think that's what makes something a really great story.
It's so funny. Your message is how we need to help each other, but you're doing it in a very ironic way. Totally alone, someone who's totally alone.
Yes.
You're also, and I work in the commercial realm, so I smile at this. Very clever, because in the movie theaters, you're next to people. So, no matter how terrifying up there, you have someone.
Yeah,
What
everyone's getting
when
through
it
this movie
goes,
together.
what about when they rent it at home and they're
Yes.
sitting there in their
They're on
living
their own.
room
Well,
and
it's more
there's
than a little inspired
nobody
by
there? That's when it happens. That's when the audience gets terrified, because
yes.
they are alone and they're watching your film all by themselves.
Everyone, we're all in our little spaceships in a way, right? And so it's all about who you reach out to.
Love it. Love it. All right. Tell us when and where.
It is playing at the Badger segment. That is the short film section. That's going to be on Wednesday, February 11th at 4 p.m. Along with some other really wonderful films.
Yeah, we're so excited about all the cool titles that we're seeing in the Badger group.
Indeed. I was chatting with a couple people from that group yesterday, and their films sound just as enticing. So that's going to be a great block of films.
Oh, I'm so
and
excited.
can I do my job that I neglected to do before? It also has played. We've been playing for the last few months at a bunch of festivals, and it's won several awards for best short, best sci-fi shorts. It won the audience award in
Word of Fear, I
Port
think.
of Fear in Wisconsin, and Meredith won best director at a couple different festivals here and also in Sydney, Australia.
And you two are two proud parents, obviously.
Yes, that's right.
Sure.
I wish you all the best with it. It sounds absolutely marvelous, and I love films that'll creep me out. And Alone in a Space Station, yeah, that's one box clicked off. Very good, very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is it pronounced Mari or Mary?
It's Mari, yeah.
Mari, please tell us about your film.
Greetings from Helsinki, Finland. So my film is called Hypatia. I hope I'm pronouncing it the right way. It's a film about a married couple who is facing an anomaly and trying to stay together. So this one is a psychological drama, I could say. So it's more like portraying the human, or maybe portraying or studying the human mind and a certain phase in a life when we have like a mature couple with a long relationship, and they're kind of it's like a portraying this specific time in a life when two people are facing something which is mysterious, like an anomaly, a mysterious force, and they have to deal with it together. So this one is more about that psychological drama. Some people say that they only watch my short film as a sci-fi film. So it's just as it is. It's an anomaly, and this anomaly causes disturbance in time and gravity. And then in this turbulence, there is this couple who tries to stay together. But also some people say that they see a very strong portraying like a memory disorder, that this anomaly could be explained as a memory disorder, which is like a mysterious force, and it can mix a person's mind, and funny things can start to happen. And for example, you can see your loved ones as like children, or you can see them in different ages, and this is kind of what starts to happen in this story when a man and a wife, they go into this silo, this kind of very mysterious empty space filled with sand, and then trying to stay in their right minds. And I have a kind of very classical European setup, that I have a woman who is used to be an anthropologist, so she believes in science, and she's there to study this anomaly. And then the husband used to be a priest, so he's more like thinking about that this is a miracle, and there are such certain things that we just can't explain. So there is this kind of thing, which is also kind of, they have a different approach to this anomaly. And this film is, there are lots of discussions in this film. They talk a lot. They talk a lot of philosophical discussions. And that was also something I wanted to do, because it's usually totally forbidden to have long dialogues in a film. But we have those in this film.
I'm really fascinated because there's so much. I've always felt that horror and science fiction are clairvoyant. That today's nightmare is tomorrow's reality. Everyone's so afraid of AI today because we're afraid that any minute now the Terminator is going to come and stop us and all of that. You're talking about an anomaly in this, and who is battling this, but science and faith is what you're showing us, and it sounds like there's a memory issue. So you're tackling the notion of I won't say mental illness. I'll say something like Alzheimer's or dementia. You're hitting something very serious that all of us fear. So you're going to a real fear in this I won't say made up, but I'll say this science fiction fear. So yours is truly the drama. And there's an otherworldly thing there, which works great with our first guest film, because this is one person dealing with an anomaly out there, and now we have a couple dealing with that anomaly. Where did you get the idea from this? What sparked you?
Well, I have to say that I found this very special location first. So we were actually scouting for something else, and with my cinematographer, we work very closely together. He's also my husband, and we were scouting for something else. And then we went to this tunnel, and then there was this amazing old silo. And when we left there, I felt heartache. I felt like we need to film, we need to shoot something in that silo. So I wrote this whole story, like inspired by this place. So I wrote the whole story into this one single location. So when the couple enters this space or this place in the beginning of the story, there is this kind of wall that just seals and there's no way out, and then we start to look at this couple, and the days and the timeline starts to blur, and funny things start to happen, and yeah, but long answer, but yeah, so it was inspired by this location.
I think that's incredible. I had someone yesterday tell me that literally he was on a break from shooting something and he was laying down. It was the evening and he was just relaxing outside and he looked up at the stars and his entire movie came to him when he was looking up at the stars. So we have the same thing here. But what's really interesting is the fact that here is this couple entering into this place that feels like an anomaly, and they love what they see and they decide to write a movie about a couple that enters into this place because of
Yeah.
the anomaly. Art is certainly imitating life here. That's wonderful. When is it happening? When is it happening?
Well, do you mean the this
At the Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival. When can we see it?
it's the lucky day, Friday 13th, and it's at Worthington. But now I have to ask, is it 4 or 6? Because there was 4 in another place and at 6 in a different place. So I don't know.
Oh, and you're showing it twice.
We'll go to both.
Um, but it's on Friday the 13th, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd love to ask a question about your film. Is that okay to sneak in with?
Go right ahead.
I'm curious about the title Hypatia. Is it somewhat inspired by the mathematician, was it a Greek mathematician who had the discussions with the monks or the priests?
Yes.
That's so awesome.
I have to say that yes, it was inspired by this female mathematician, this Hypatian. Yeah, in some point when I was writing, I got this working title, and then I just liked it so much. But I love the fact that you spotted it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of she was this absolute force in mathematics, and I don't know, like I don't remember, like 380, I forget.
Yeah. At least 20 years ago.
Yeah. I forget when she was.
Ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's great that you spotted that, and it's kind of this science woman and the kind of decay of her mind that you kind of see in this film. So yeah.
That sounds very intriguing. Very cool.
And ironically, you're talking about someone who was a mathematician who chatted with priests. So again, we're talking science and religion at the same time. We're seeing so many interlocking things here. Really incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, go to bostonscifi.com and check out the schedule for all of these. And please look for this movie on Friday the 13th. And as well as everything else within the block that this film is in. I wish you so much luck with this. This is absolutely marvelous. I love the interlocking things that you have in there. I love the fact that you're dealing with a mature couple. I love the fact that it is a drama first and then it is fantastical. I think that's absolutely wonderful. Best of luck with that. So Massimo.
Hello.
You've been sitting very quietly. Entertain us. Tell us about your film.
So my film is Solipsis. It's a science fiction drama, and I like to say it's a drama in a science fiction world about a woman who's kind of after the alien apocalypse has happened. She's isolated in a bunker. She went down there with her husband, but years ago her husband passed away, so she's been alone for a very long time. And the film's about her kind of in this manic state. She's kind of lost touch with reality. She's been isolated for so long, so the only life she knows is being alone in a bunker with a shrine to her husband right next to her, that she kind of communicates with all the time. But she comes into radio contact with the outside world, who is now saying, "Hey, it's getting better. We're inviting you to come back to the surface and join our tribe of survivors." So the film really is just about her grappling with the decision to either stay where she feels safe and that she's kind of come used to, or should she take the chance, trust someone after years of not trusting anyone, and go back to the surface world.
Where did you, a young guy, find this story within you? What prompted you to do this kind of story?
Yeah, so I always wanted to do a bunker during an apocalypse. I always wanted to do that kind of a film because it's just fascinating to me, someone being isolated from the world. And then I think during COVID, we were having all these discussions about isolation and trust, and even coming out of COVID, it kind of felt weird to be surrounded by people again. And it was a very long snowball into this story of the bunker, but also it's really a film about how to find trust in people. Solipsis itself is kind of the idea that you can't trust anything external from you is reality. The only reality exists within your mind. It's a philosophical idea called solipsism. And so, yeah, I just kind of played on that theme of, okay, does she trust what she sees? Does she trust what she hears? Does she trust people? Or is she just gonna kind of uh, stay within her mind, stay within what's comfortable with her, stay with, the body of her husband that she loved and lost? That's kind of the themes that I was playing with in this film. And it also asks the audience itself what you trust when watching the film, because there's a lot of elements that kind of play on this idea of, was that real or was that in her head?
So once again, we have an anomaly uh, causing someone who is, and we get the notion of the loneliness of the mind. That
Absolutely, yeah. And it's internal too. It's more of like the idea was the kind of more absurd moments where you're not really sure what's happening. It's all her internal kind of understanding of her world, because she's kind of lost it. She hasn't been anywhere or talked to anyone in years, right? And it's all under this fear of what's outside her comfort zone, which is in this film, it's the alien apocalypse, which is very fantastic, but it's really kind of a metaphor for coming, outside of your bubble, outside of your world, taking the chance to learn something new or talk to someone new or interact with a world that you feel like might be hostile to your ideals. That's kind of the theme that we play with. And so all those fantastical elements are internal rather than like an external force messing with her.
wow, three really intellectual pieces. Wow, my day is starting out really well here. Talking to three of that's really amazing. It's very funny. There was a comedy years ago. There was an independent comedy years ago called Vacation, and it was a science fiction short, and it was about this worker who they're encased in this bubble, and that's where they're working. They're surrounded by computers. There's a bed there and everything. They just work and sleep and work and sleep. And at that point, this is many years ago, so it was the work-life balance parable. And on his wall, there's a poster that says 10 days till vacation, 9 days till vacation, 8 days till vacation. And finally, he gets a vacation, and all that happens is says vacation. The door opens up, and he exits into a beautiful field. And I remember the film so well because it really struck me. He entered into a beautiful field and looked around and screamed and begged to come back into the box.
Oh,
It's very Plato's allegory of the cave, which is another kind of reference that I was drawing on my phone. But yeah, like being wanting to see the outside world, but then being shocked by it because it's not what you're used to. It's a very interesting theme.
You're hitting a parable that's rocking this entire planet right now.
Yeah,
We don't want to accept change. We want,
exactly.
as toxic as it might be, we want the old ways, and that's it. And so you're hitting a very powerful nerve with yours. Wow. When is it happening?
It will be with Hypatia in the Worthington block Friday the 13th. Very excited.
What
And
is
either
the
4 or
time?
6.
What is the time?
It says 4 p.m. on the website.
We're going
On
with that.
tickets, but on ticket sale it says 6.
It's just going to be a long queue outside for a couple
Yeah.
hours.
Well, there you go. They think it's going to be a long line, so they got to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
I'll show
good
it
film, so
twice.
you better get there early. Gotta see it.
Exactly. Exactly. That is wonderful. I wish you so much luck with this.
Thank you so much.
Like I said, you're all hitting these powerful messages. You're hitting us in the nerve center of so many things we don't want to talk about, so many things we're afraid of, and that's the clairvoyance of horror and science fiction. It's they say, what are you afraid of? Okay, here it is in the most concentrated, hugest form. We're not talking about paying taxes. We're not talking about going to the doctor. We're talking about an alien invasion. But the feeling is exactly the same. And I think it's really marvelous. I think it is really marvelous. Ladies and gentlemen, the Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival number 51 takes place February 11 through the 16 with the marathon beginning on the 15th. Go to bostonsci-fi.com to find out schedules for these and other amazing films, and get there and see these films before you can't, because they're Oscar winners and you got to pay a lot of money to I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll be there, and I can't wait to see your films. Good luck to you all.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Jay. Great to meet you all.
Great to meet you guys. I can't wait to see your films.
Yeah, exactly. So great.
All the best. Ciao.
All the best.
Bye.
Bye.